What's up, faithful, and welcome to the 49ers You've Got Mail podcast. I'm Lindsay Polaris, your host, and today I am joined by a wide receiver duo, Ricky Pearsall and Jacob Cowling. Guys, thank you for spending the afternoon with us.
Thank you for having us. Excited to be here.
This is the season finale of our podcast, and much like this podcast, the 49er season comes to an end next week this weekend against the Arizona Cardinals. Both of you guys being Arizona natives, ASU product, and an Arizona product. How many people are you guys going to have at this game?
You want to start off, my boy?
I guess I'll start off because I have a whole bunch coming. We were just talking about it, but I got 55 family members on just my mom's side, which is kind of crazy. I didn't even know I had that many family members on my mom's side in general. I don't know if my dad's bringing too many more people, but yeah, we got a lot. We got a big group coming. So.
For me, I probably got around 15 people. A lot of friends, some family coming in from Texas, also from California too. I got some family coming from California, so it's gonna be a good little turnout.
You guys are both smiling as you're talking about all your loved ones that are going to come see you in an NFL game in your home state. If you could tell your younger self this time last year how it was all going to work out, what would you say?
Oof. Yeah, I don't know. Probably just stay true to yourself. I think that's like the biggest thing I always tell myself is, be your authentic self. I feel like any situation that I end up in, that's what I tell myself. So that's probably what I say.
For me, I'd probably say just don't let the moment get too big for you. You worked years and years to get to where you want to, and at this point, just go out there and continue playing football the way you've been ever since you were a youngin'.
I'm sure you guys have racked up a ton of really special football memories, but where is this one going to rank to be in your home state, playing an NFL regular season game, and having all your family there?
It's definitely going to be up there for me just because, obviously we grew up there. We grew up watching the Cardinals, and I don't know how many times I've been in that stadium before, but this is definitely going to be my first time playing it because I know there's times like youth football teams and maybe like high school championship teams that like host it in there, but I never made it to that. So this will be my first time playing there, and then obviously we got a big crowd coming, so it's going to be up there for me on some of my memories of all time. So
yeah, very similar to what Ricky just said. Never actually really played in the stadium. Only ever seen it. I've been to a couple games growing up. I think it's going to be definitely top two football memories for me. Just growing up in Arizona, me also growing up a 49ers fan. So just being able to play with the Niners and playing back home in front of my family and friends, it's going to be a special moment.
Jacob, you mentioned this to me just yesterday that you guys formally met earlier this year in January, but your paths did actually cross in Arizona many, many years ago. When did that happen?
Yeah, so that was it was funny. His dad was telling me we were coming out here for rookie minicamp that we actually played against each other in Pop Warner Bowl. I didn't even know this. But yeah, so we had like a little scrimmage or whatever, and I don't really remember the scrimmage really too much, but I do remember the team. You was on the Wildcats, right? Something like that, yeah. And I remember that, and then I always knew about Ricky when he was at ASU. Always heard his name, and I kind of always followed him. Just he's from Arizona. I'm from Arizona. I like the way he run routes and stuff like that. So I always knew who he was.
Likewise, I always knew who he was.
What's the first impression of each other that you had after knowing about each other for so long? Then you meet after you're drafted. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, so, like he was saying, I always knew of him and knew the type of player he was and how quick he was. But, when I first met him, I was like, me and him get along really well. This is going to be somebody that, that I can be friends with for a long time. So, then things went around and now we're teammates. So it was that much more cool. And, after he got drafted, he ended up calling me because he saw that I got drafted to the 49ers as well. And, from there, we just been best friends and ever since we got here, so.
Yeah, to add on to that, ever since I met Ricky, very comfortable. I was able to talk to him about anything and everything, and even outside of football, we had conversations about just life. And at that point, I kind of knew I could trust Ricky. He's like a brother to me now, and even like when we was training through Exos and all this stuff, I'm like, that would be pretty cool to be able to play with him and stuff like that. And it all worked out at the end of the day. So we're here now, and at this point, I think I'm just ready to go ball out with my boy.
This is a really friendly locker room, but just having a familiar face that you at least kind of know. How much did you guys lean on each other throughout this year?
Yeah, like I said, we was best friends, definitely through training camp, we talk every day. We just kind of like had a little self-reflection with each other. If it was football, maybe outside stuff in life. And it was really good to have like a resource like that. Have somebody that you can relate to, and somebody that's also from the same city that you're from. So it was really nice. It was a blessing for sure to have somebody like that with me.
Absolutely. I think you hear a lot of stories going into it. It could be overwhelming for a rookie coming into the NFL first year. So it was definitely helpful, having him by my side, and him also from Arizona. So we have a lot more things in common. We could talk about more things, and I think it was definitely made the transition a lot easier going from college to NFL.
All right, vastly different starts to your NFL careers for the both of you. Ricky, you were drafted in the first round, go through a personal tragedy during Labor Day weekend, battle back from that gunshot wound, make your debut in Week 7. How would you put that first portion of your rookie career into words?
I don't know if there's really just words to describe that situation, but at the end of the day, I always say, there's light in all the darkness, and I feel like as a man, all the adversity, makes you really informs you to be the man you are, and I feel like that's a situation that I'm in, and that was a big learning experience for me, and it only made me stronger, but luckily, I had an organization like this with a bunch of good people in here that had my back, a lot of teammates, coaches that, that were in my corner. And, they put a lot of people in my corner to, resources to help me along the way and get back to where I needed to be. And, shout out to them. They showed major love through that. So, it was definitely a crazy moment for me in my life, and it wasn't expected, but I'm very thankful for it, and I would not go back to change it. And, I'm just super blessed.
You touched on it earlier. Lots of ups and downs during a rookie season. Since making your NFL debut Week 7, what has been the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge would probably be learning the playbook, to be honest. It changes weekly. Coach Shanahan does a really good job of making it, something that's tough for defenses to key on. And, he's got a lot of changing parts in the offense, and that's what makes us us. And, a powerful, explosive offense, and being a rookie coming from a college playbook and coming here and trying to learn that while learning my teammates, and while trying to establish myself, it was definitely difficult. But like you said earlier, having a guy like Jacob where we can just bounce off each other and learn the playbook together, it made it that much easier. So, I think having a guy like him, it made it easier for me, easier for both of us, honestly, to learn it, and made that transition that much easier. So, I think that was it.
Fast forward to Week 17, you put up a career high in receiving yards, a touchdown. You just did everything that the 49ers knew you were capable of. Now that you are getting close to the end of the regular season, what type of confidence does that give you heading into the offseason?
Yeah, for sure. I think it makes it easier, when the ball's coming your way to, develop that confidence. But I think, part of being a successful receiver is always having that confidence no matter, if there's highs or lows, just continuing to have that self-belief. And I think I do a pretty good job of that. But like you said, having a game like that, it can only boost it and makes it easier. So.
Jacob, for you, you go in the 4th round. You suffer that hamstring injury early in camp, and then you are taking over at punt returner. What type of pressure did you face being a rookie that needed to contribute very early on in the year?
I wouldn't really say pressure. I would say really my last year of college, I really keyed in on punt returning and fielding punts and getting confident and comfortable with it. So when I got here and they put me on punt return, I just kind of translated what I learned from my last year at college and just kind of have that same confidence, same comfortable feeling that I've had. So at that point, I was just not trying to get too far outside the box, just trying to continue to be me and continue to play the game that I know how to play and just trying to make something happen.
I think being a punt returner is an underappreciated job a lot of times. What was your biggest learning lesson throughout the year?
On punt return, biggest lesson is the lanes close extremely fast. So when you see something, you got to hit it extremely fast. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. And, at this point, I mean, everyone knows how to cover the field pretty well, and that's something I'm still trying to get better on and how to read the field and trying to make something explosive happen.
How would you contrast the speed of that?
Yeah, there's a different speed change for sure coming to college to NFL. Dudes are a lot faster. I would definitely say that. Other than that, dudes' technique, they're different. Everyone holds in on their craft, and you just got to try and, within yourself, try and better your craft so you can outwork them.
Both of you are part of a wide receiver room that's got a lot of established veterans, all pros, pro bowlers. Who did you enjoy learning from the most?
You wanna answer that?
Yeah, I'll go first. Right off the bat, I'll say it was both Debo and Brandon Ayuk. When they was going in training camp, just learning from those guys how they approached the game, how they approached even recovery, film study. I watched everything and how they carry themselves and how I can implement that in my career and take off from there. So definitely Debo and Brandon Ayuk when I first got here.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say the same. I think honestly, I took different things from a lot of the different guys in there. Obviously, Brandon, I took a lot of like route running from him. Same with Debo, and how explosive Debo is with the ball in his hands. Trying to take some things like that away from him, and then guys like Chris Conley, the way that he works and goes out there every day and prepares, and the craftiness of like Trent. So there was like a lot of different things I took from a lot of different types of players, but I think that's something that's makes you a better receiver is, what you can take from different guys. I take things from Jacob's game, that I put into my game. So I think, there's a lot of different things you could take away.
Did you guys have a welcome to the NFL moment thus far?
I would say Buffalo game, the Blizzard game. Never played in a snow game like that ever in my life. I'm from Arizona. We're both from Arizona, so we don't see much snow.
Yeah, I slipped right on my butt. Yeah, that was definitely it.
I don't think people from the West Coast are supposed to play in those conditions, but every now and then it pops up on the schedule. All right, when it comes to immersing yourself in Bay Area culture, Ricky, I really enjoyed the smeeze you hit in the end zone the other day. One of the memorable moments from your rookie year, you asked people on Twitter to tell you about Bay Area culture.
Yeah.
What was the biggest takeaway from the 1,500 responses you got on that tweet?
Yeah, at first I was trying to read all of them, and then they got too many. I was like, okay, yeah, the fans here, they crazy. So I don't know, probably like the dance moves. I'm still trying to learn some of the dance moves. Obviously the smeeze. I've been trying to hit that since like 2019. So I've been, yeah. So I really still work on it, still polishing it up. But all the food spots probably, but. Lately I just been staying my butt home.
All right, so we learned that we don't say Niner Nation. We say.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
What do we say? What do we say?
First off, we got to say faithful. That's how we
Yes.
address them.
Yes.
And then we say Niner. What is it? Not Niner Nation because we don't do that.
It's not Niner Nation. People are gonna grill you guys.
No, they for sure are.
This is your moment to shine, Jacob.
Jacob, I'm lobbing it up.
Is it Niner gang?
Oh yeah, Niner gang.
Okay, that does work. That does
Bang
work.
bang Niner gang. That's what it is.
And Niner Empire. Say it
Oh
with
yeah,
me, guys. Niner
Niner
Empire.
Empire. See, we still learning. We still rookies. We
Be
got one more
nice.
game left.
Be nice in the comments, guys. All right, so Jacob, what are your impressions of the Bay? Obviously, already a West Coast guy, but it's a little different in NorCal.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the food was my biggest takeaway. A lot of hole in the walls, good food, and then also like the music culture around here too. A lot of big name artists are around here and from here, and I would say the music culture that I'm really trying to get into. Also like trying to learn the dance moves as well too. Like Ricky said, I be in my house trying to learn some stuff, still trying to polish some things up. So when I get that first touchdown, I'm gonna go crazy.
You guys should post the outtakes, like the practice versus when you actually hit it.
Yeah, you're right. My practice would be pretty good. I got a little wiggle to me now.
One last thing I wanted to touch on before we get to our very fun fan questions. Jacob, you mentioned an off the field hobby, talent that you like to explore. You restore cars. How did you get into that?
Yeah, I actually first got into it COVID. We had a whole bunch of time on our hands, and at that same time, I had an old beat up truck that always broke down on me, and I didn't have a car, so. I just took that time, all that free time on my hands, and looked some stuff up on YouTube, looked some stuff up on Google. Was able to fix my truck. I fell in love with it after that, and any kind of car that I have now, I try to make it go faster, look better, try to do some things, the Jacob touch on it, and that's just now my hobby now.
Were you impressed with how much you're able to learn from YouTube videos?
100%, 100. I was actually blown away by, like, very small, like, little detailed things that I needed to understand on how to fix some things. It was on YouTube, so just a little search away.
Anyone can learn anything. All right.
Oh, for sure. I definitely learned more on YouTube than I ever did in school. I'm not gonna lie.
YouTube's going to love that. Okay, so We also let our YouTube community know that you guys were going to be on the podcast. They sent in a ton of questions. So I'm going to fire them off. Michael from Redwood City. We know rookies have special assignments. So what rookie duties did each of you have to do this year? The ones you can share.
Okay, so they're always on us about getting snacks for the room, and they say we were slacking. So,
Well, what did you guys bring in?
no, we definitely brought in some snacks. There's some snacks in there right now too. It could be anything, honestly. Like the most junk food you could think of, just get a bunch of that. You know, you got to go to like whatever your nearest grocery or Walmart or something. You go down the aisle, you just grab everything for them. But the most recent one was the Christmas tree.
Yeah, we had to get a Christmas tree. I would say also too, Wingstop for the plane ride.
yeah.
I have seen you both with Wingstop bags.
Always got
yes.
about 3-4 bags in our hands for these guys trying to feed them on the plane. They sometimes ask us to bring in the helmets for them too. Sometimes.
The buckets.
Yeah. I'll say pretty much that's it.
Okay, that's not that bad.
No.
Unstoppable Wingstop flavor. Do we have one?
The hot honey rubs fire.
Yeah, fact.
Not gonna lie, that
Fact.
can't go wrong with lemon pepper either.
Can't go wrong with that lemon pepper.
That is that's a classic. This one is for Jacob from Susie from Miami. As a young dad, what's your best piece of advice?
Best advice, I would say just try and be patient as much as you can. And also too, just be present. Be present in the moment. Just don't take those times for granted because you'll never get those times back.
This one is from Tina, and this is for the both of you. What is your guilty pleasure Netflix binge?
Like shows like that. Like everybody tries to put me on some shows, but I just
Or like a
I might be one of
comfort
those
movie?
kids. I might be one of those kids that just can't sit there and watch it for that long. My attention span is shortening from the big TikTok videos, bro.
Okay, so who do you follow on TikTok? Or what are the best like social media follows?
I don't know if you want to see my TikTok feed. It's pretty funny though. It's pretty funny.
I built this FYP brick by brick.
For real.
Binge show, I'd say Rhythm and Flow. I don't know why I've been into that lately.
yeah,
Rhythm and Flow.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
All right. Any other ones? No?
Well, I did just watch the new Squid Game one.
I gotta check that out.
So I did just watch that.
That is not for the faint of heart. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one to just watch out of the blue,
Yeah.
but I did.
I mean, it's like the most highly rated Netflix show.
Yeah,
so
that's probably the only reason.
yeah. My Carla from Broomfield, Colorado. How long did it take you to learn the smeeze, Ricky? And do you think you've perfected it?
I think I'm pretty good at it. I don't know if I perfected it. You know, next time I'll do the smeeze like more into the camera because I think they got the back end of it because, you know, they had to review the touchdown. So at that point, I was already on the sideline, but I had to make sure I get it in, you know. I didn't want to run back on the field and do it. That would have looked crazy. But next time I do it, you know, you got to give me some pointers.
Also, you got to get, I think there are a lot of people in front of you.
Yeah,
Front of the
exactly.
camera.
They couldn't really see it.
All right. And Jacob, what is your future touchdown celebration that you're planning? If you want to reveal it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep that one. I'm gonna keep that one. Y'all
Ooh,
got
it's
to
a
wait and
secret.
see. Y'all got
Okay.
to wait and see until
All
I get
right.
in the end zone.
Well, thank you so much for spending the afternoon with us, guys. And Faithful, thank you for sending in those questions for our guests. To be the first to listen to our latest episodes, make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And thank you to our sponsor, Delta Dental. That's it from us. Niners, protect your teeth and your budget with dental plans from Delta Dental. Get fumble-free dental coverage today.